Hi there, I'm Gildart Jackson. And today on Fireside Reading, we continued with David Copperfield, the first part of Chapter 5. And fortunately, after the tragedy of the last few days, where we read Chapter 4, where Murdstone and Miss Murdstone were so horrible, this is a slightly more comedic chapter. David is put on the carrier to go away. Peggotty comes and sees him, gives him some money, which is heart-rending. But then he's driving along with the driver of the coach, Mr. Barkis, who tastes the pie that Peggotty has made for David and instantly decides that he wants to marry her. But he doesn't say that. He merely says that he wants David to tell Peggotty that Barkis is willing. And so David does, not really, by letter, not really knowing what Barkis is willing to do. We'll see what happens about that. But then they get to Yarmouth on the way to the coach to London, and David is given a meal by a couple of comedic characters, and the most comedic being the waiter, who convinces ultimately David to let him, the waiter, eat almost all of David's meal. And it's funny, but then it gets a little ugly when he starts teasing David about the school he's going to and lying to him and telling him that boys die there or get beaten. And then he forces him to pay extra for a piece of letterhead that he had borrowed to write to Peggotty on. And you just get an overall sense that David is getting thrust into a world that he knows nothing about. He is 8 years old, and he doesn't understand the way the world works. He's an innocent, and the world is repeatedly taking advantage of him. Please join us to see what happens. We read every day at 5 Pacific at Fireside Reading on Instagram, and all the chapters uploaded to the YouTube channel Fireside Reading.